You're about to see what sports photography actually looks like, not only through my eyes, but through the lenses' eyes. This is what I captured. Take a look. This video right here will be first of the handful that I make in accordance with the Stockman Rugby 2025 tour to Fiji. With me being one of the sole content creators on tour, I wanted to show you what it's like behind the lens, but also behind the editing stuff. With this short series, I'll show you what it's like behind the lens, but then also every nitty gritty little bit of stuff that goes behind the scenes as well. This one I'm super stoked about because I managed to get a POV angle. This game here was against Malolo Rugby. This was our third game, and you'll see in a second, but on my photo camera, I put my DJI Action 5 Pro, mounted it to the camera so that every bit I was tracking, the photos were tracking as well. Which means you'll be able to see what I saw, and then you'll see the fully edited photo all together, ready and done, exactly how I delivered it. Without further ado though, here we go. Like any rugby game, it all starts in the warm-up. This was my first shot of the day, a good way to start off the day. Our head strapper looking ready and revving to go ahead of game day. As the boys started up for the warm-up, I took this opportunity to take a photo of our very, very experienced head coach, Ben Mullen. This is how it turned out. As the warm-up continued, the boys were revving, my spirits were high, the boys' spirits were high, and we managed to get this one. With the warm-up soon to be wrapped up, I managed to sneak in this one of our scariest player on tour. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'd like to say this one will be a contender for shot of the day. Just how it was cropped and how it looks, but then also the sequence of photos as well, the whole sequence of photos. Now during this game, I was shooting both photo and video. First half was mainly the videos, which I managed to make a sick edit out of. I'll show you that later. But then the second half was where the photos came in. So as I said, I mounted on my DJI and we go from here. As I've mentioned many times before, being in the goal line is my sweet spot. All the action is coming towards you. You get a nice front-on action of head, ball, and club logo, which makes for a perfect photo. Another thing worth mentioning as well is that the first 5 minutes is generally just like a feeler how the game goes. You want to pick out main attackers, the people who are dangerous with the ball, and the people who look like they're going to be in space. Predicting play is key. As I mentioned before, the sun would come out, then it would hide away behind the clouds, then it would come out again. So battling with those conditions was not a hard thing by all means, but it was just something to keep in mind of. I always shoot with a high burst, which means I can capture every single moment one at a time. My camera takes 10 photos per second, so you already know I'm capturing moments like this one. In terms of the venue of the field, now, I always like to get some setting shots or some shots that kind of tell a story with storytelling. That's often done, you can often do that with a wide shot or with a very compressed facial expression shot. The field we were at wasn't necessarily the best looking, but nonetheless, we still aim to get some wide shots just to tell that little bit of a story more. First half, I already got a feel for the game in terms of how the teams were playing, because one, I was videoing and that's a whole separate conversation. But in terms of photos, I got into the second half doing all the photos and I kind of knew how the game was flowing. I knew who the threats were, and obviously being with the touring team, I know these players on a personal level now, which just makes it even better. And you could even say that I know their plays and whatnot too. I know where the ball's gonna go, so it's easy to predict where the ball's gonna be and who's gonna get the ball in that open space. That simply just comes by knowing the plays, but then again, by also knowing the players, thinking and predicting what they're gonna do in each situation. I mentioned before about getting nice wide storytelling shots. Another thing I've been experimenting with is doing a 16:9 picture profile format. This often portrays a storytelling view, but then you can also manage to get a very nice, wide, isolating shot, just like this one, which then quickly turn into some fast footwork to race through the line. A few phases later, they come a little bit closer, and once again, head, face, ball, all in action, all in key. Did we get it? You tell me. When I mentioned about danger players, this is definitely one of them. Hayden Pratt with the biggest fend I've ever seen. You'll always get shots of players rummaging through the line. They won't always be the best ones, but nevertheless, it's still a worthy shot. Unfortunately, we couldn't fully nail the face logo ball, but nonetheless, it's still a ravishing shot. Once again, back at it with that 16:9 format, a little bit different this time, trying to capture a bit more emotion and storytelling with this one. In the same sequence, followed by just a nice portrait photo. Shots of these boys eyeing up the opposition and running straight through the line will always be one of my favorite. What can you say? Did I do well? Just eyeing up the line, eyeing up the defense, getting in a nice strong stance, and then punching through that defensive line. One bit that I'm always revving on about is getting nice and low, so you're shooting up towards your subject. This one here, arguably, you could obviously see the grass in front, but nonetheless, it's still very low, which means portrait shots are incoming, and we definitely prevailed. This nice bokeh image just portrays the expression, but then the intensity and grit of this player. It's scrum time, baby. We love scrums, and we love the scrums in this game. Our pushover scrums were just absolutely phenomenal, and it doesn't happen without a chirpy 9 directing the boys on where to go. Boom, just like that. We storm over, we keep pummeling, and then finally a try, which means a celebration, which we love. The boys managed to get themselves another scrum 5 meters out from the defensive line. And you already know what that means, more portraits. Number 8s, flankers, 9s, even props. This time, it was the number 8. Another nice portrait, done right. But you can't forget the 9. 9's crucial as well, especially when he looks this boss. Our scrum, once again, prevailing to be strong, which means a burst of photos is incoming. Our 9, Javen Scarf, pulls out from the scrum and feeds one of our most dominant players on field. And yet again, we're through the line once more. These burst photos got the whole sequence, but these are the best ones. Take a look. You can't forget the sideline either. So this is what I got from the bench, but then also from the sideline, running up and down the sideline, I also managed to get some of the players too. To finish off, have a listen to this. Literally heartwarming.
Enda sanggangga, enda sanggangga ruatolu. Enda sanggangga, enda sanggangga, enda sanggangga. Ena buku nila, ena dona bosa. Enda sanggangga. By the